Yeah, good. Good.
I think he was right. Kind of English type plays going on. Yeah. Big weather adjustment today. How did it go?
Oof. No, it's just right. It was a big weather adjustment. Green Bay was just so cool. Weather was nice. I'm not going to complain. This is where we spent camp. It was a little shock coming back to it.
How did it feel to get Jameis back in the huddle doing some team drills today?
I loved it. He's always a good voice to have around, a good leader to have around, and just a good vibe keeper in general to have around. So it was nice having him back.
What have you kind of seen from him just over these last couple of weeks as he progresses?
He's a baller. That's all I can say. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan. I mean, I know he's been out probably the last week or so with his foot. I don't really know. But Jameis is a baller. Big fan, great leader, great person, and I'm excited for him this year.
Erik, would you be comfortable with him, his first start since the injury, to be in a regular season game at Atlanta, or would you want to maybe to play a series against Detroit?
I'm confident. Whatever, Coach Allen and Coach Carmichael decide with whatever they want to do with them, I'm confident in them either way. He can go.
How much trust, so to say, do you think you have to, kind of following up on that, shake off maybe with all these new guys and Jameis? So do you feel like there isn't much rust?
I don't feel like there is much rust. Throughout camp this year, I've got more accustomed to Jameis than I have been in the past. Just because, with my injury last year, his injury last year, we didn't have that many plays together. But camp this year, we've really kind of got to mesh up until, his recent injury.
Erik, I know you got to be positive being an offensive lineman, but where is the stronger suit right now? I think the run game or the toss game?
Oh, geez. I'm a big proponent of the run game, so that's always what I've got to say. Just gotta love running the football. Very short answer, but run game.
It wouldn't be to just like run 80 screens a game and let you get out there and see.
Oh God, I would be so winded if we ran more than 7.
I don't think we talked to you after the Texas game, or I could be wrong. Can you just talk about that screen that y'all ran for, I think it was you and Andrus out in the backfield? How good is your unit at kind of getting downfield and setting this point?
Yeah, that's one thing that I can say that I'm really happy about having Pete back. He's great in the screen game, great in the run game. Just know that I'm going to have a guy out there that's going to go make his block and we can spring big runs. Something that I'm excited for. Big screens, runs, whatever you want to call them. Something that I'm excited for.
Coach said that you haven't been talked about a lot over camp, which is a good thing for an offensive lineman. How do you think camp has been for you, or what has been something you're doing well and working on?
I would say it's going well. Definitely still areas that I need to improve. A big point of emphasis for me this year is just my first step. I feel like I've improved there, so I've gotten better as a player naturally because of that. Like I said, there's still lots of room for improvement. I still have too much wasted movement in my stance, too many false steps, stuff that I have to get better at, and that I plan on doing through these next couple of days.
How would you assess where the offensive line as a whole compared to day one of training camp to now, and Henning kind of working in with you all?
I would say we're growing. Like we're growing together and meshing together every day as a unit. And like you said, with Penning coming in, it's something new for us with the ones. Just trying to make sure we're all on the same page. But I would definitely say that we're growing and progressing as a unit.
How has Coach Malone been? Obviously, you all have realized what you had here, but with a new coach, especially somebody who's kind of compared to as a head coach, just how has that been for you all? Has it been easy?
I wouldn't say easy is the word, but we love having Coach Malone in the room. Very detail-oriented guy. Like he really, really hones in on this first step that I was talking about. And that's something that I've never really had to consciously think about until now. I've never really been coached on it. I feel like that's the same thing for a lot of guys. Taking up new coaching points and moving on with them. Like I said, we love having him in the room.
Has that been big for the younger guys in particular, Caesar, having that sort of finer point?
Yeah. Not just Caesar. I would say all of us. There's things that all of us have had to get better at and need to get better at still. But just taking that day-by-day progression has been huge.
long does it take to incorporate something like that into your game? Like
The first step.
breaking habits you had.
So I've been false stepping on my first step since I've been playing center. So I would say that I'm still working on it, but I definitely see the improvement. Maybe like every other step will be a false step, or every third step will be a false step instead of doing it every time. But it's really something that I have to think about.
Erik, considering that he played every snap on the offensive line, Cesar Ruiz last year, seems like he's getting a lot of playing time in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking for familiar faces, he's out there even in the second half, well into the second half. So the question being, is that just to help his development, or what is his mindset about having to play this much before the season starts?
Second half or second quarter? Because he didn't play the second half last game. He played second quarter.
Just all the time.
Yeah. I think it's just a room for improvement. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Just room for improvement, room for growth.
I apologize if you've explained this already, but
Yeah, go ahead.
some of the challenges that this line faced last year in run blocking, with all the turnover, I don't know if you can compare like 20 to 21, whether you hope to get back, or sense you're getting back more to the 20 running game if you have more continuity on the line. Can you envision or hope for that happening?
Yeah, like last year we didn't, I'm not going to say we didn't mesh together well, but we just had a lot of turnover in the offensive line room, in the running back room, in the quarterback room. And when you just have that much turnover, it's hard to get something going. So we're hoping and praying that everybody stays healthy this year. And even if we don't, we have to have the next man up mentality. And I'll always say that. But I definitely think that we can get back to our 20 running game.
Yeah, being a dominant running team like you were.
Oh, yeah.
Can you, at this point in training camp, can you kind of tell that there's been this, what would seem from the outside to be a significant regime change, just because of how big Sean Payton's personality and influence was in the team, and now, it's like, on one hand, there's a lot of continuity because he's still here, but on the other hand, the guy in charge is a different guy.
Yeah. I would definitely say it's a little bit of a change. Going from more of an offensive-minded head coach to defensive-minded head coach. A lot of the personnel has stayed the same, but it's a change, just a little bit about how we, go about things. That's all I'm going to say. Because, it's just different. But it's a good different. It's a good different.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to accomplish the same thing, but like, you still feel like, I guess, Sean had a way of kind of a knack for understanding where his players were at and trying to infuse people with confidence and keeping people on their toes at the same time. Do you still feel like there's a lot of that in the building, or is it?
Yeah, no doubt. I agree. Yeah. No doubt at all. I love DA. I think that he definitely pushes us to be a lot better as an offense. Like just even the small things, even the details, even like the pre-snap penalties, like he's pushing us to be so much better in that area, and really putting emphasis on not beating ourselves, which is something I think carried over heavily from the defensive room. And it's something that we've all incorporated and we're rolling with now.
Erik, I know it's a tough part of the offseason, but like with roster cuts being inevitable, what advice can you give to like some of these younger guys on the bubble, as they approach these last 20 days before the regular season?
Yeah, I would say just put your best stuff on tape in the preseason games. You never know who's watching. Well, you do know who's watching. All 31 other teams are watching you. So don't get down on yourself and play every rep like somebody else is watching.
You said OGs as if you don't like thinking about it.
Huh?
You said OGs as if you don't like thinking about it.
Oh yeah, no, it's my least favorite time of the year. You have guys that come in the locker room. You become really good friends with them over the course of a month or two, and then they're gone. But it's the business part of it. I get it, but that doesn't mean that you have to like it.
Thanks,
Good,
Erik.
appreciate it.